Well, I wrote the question, you answer it.
What?
I wrote the question, you answer it.
Oh, okay. First of all, a very good morning still to everyone here. I'm just going to talk and we'll worry about questions in a little while, okay? If you don't mind, is that okay?
You've got a microphone.
Right, okay, I've got the microphone. First of all the Irish people in the room are probably wondering, why are we being entertained supposedly by two Scotland guys at an Ireland versus All Blacks match when one of the guys... I'm going back tonight. Had been a lot of rugby playing countries in the world, and just the hand of rugby friendship opens. I played with Steve in Vale in 1986, which was just amazing. Just a few months after winning our first caps for Scotland, and then met John Sillage, and we've been down. I stayed on after the first World Cup in 1987. Played for Auckland Varsity. Had a few months down there. Won the championship there with 4 of the World Cup winning All Blacks, and it's all just part of the experiences, and you just learn from every rugby occasion that you go to, and today is no different. And with a couple of youngsters in the room, I hope they have ambitions to play rugby for their country and whatever else. And it's just an amazing thing to represent your country, to have the opportunities, but more than that, it's the friendships that you make. And I think there's a lot of nodding heads in front of us that people have travelled and...
Some wonderful speakers. This year we tried to do things a little different. I was thinking maybe we get brothers to speak and try to get it going on that way. So we went after what we thought were the best, most...
In 2 years' time, and because the catalyst is coming in 6 years' time.
With their careers is really what sets them apart, and they've done nothing but been great representatives of the sport of rugby and servants to the sport of rugby, trying not only to grow the game in their homeland Scotland, but everywhere else that they have gone. They understand their influence, they understand the power of their names, and we have the honor of actually having them here in the U.S. because they understand that the U.S. is a very, very important country in world rugby. So I thank you again for your efforts today and the fact that you came out here and are willing to help us out. That's the serious bit. Now we'll get to the fun bits. Here we go. Jersey, we've got the emblem right there. Fantastic piece of American sports memorabilia. Truly the underdog spirit lives within this jersey. We are already at $1,000 online. It's for you being here today. And I truly mean that. I've shaken, I think, everybody's hands here. 9 years ago when this game happened, there was really our event and then the game. And then, funny enough, Ireland won. And so they smashed them, 40 to
the ball, tag with the ball. They learn the skills of rugby when they're 6 years old, 7 years old, all the way up until just about when they turn 13 and they can go off and play tackle rugby. We've got hundreds of thousands already signed up. That's 10 times the number that are currently playing rugby at those ages. It's something, $1 a kid, give us $300, that's a school, basically. So you think about it, you see the YRI go by, you see a plea from the Rugby Foundation to give to YRI. That's something that's really going to make a difference, because in 10 years we're going to have millions of little kids, and they're going to be teenagers, they may even be in college then, who want to watch rugby, want to play rugby, want to be part of rugby. And this is going to be a success.
Involved in that squad, they are, yeah. So an amazing time in New Zealand to see that competition grow, and even then, although it was an amateur competition, you had Andy Dalton promoting, he was on advertising, promoting his tractors. It was a professional game over there. They were obviously playing their players as well. So for the Irish, he was from the Dungannon club, And it used to be the most odd stadium with a little clubhouse at each end, the Wanderers and the Lansdowne clubhouse. The Irish ran out of money while they were building the stands, so it stopped about on the 20. Oh, you watch later? Okay, right. Okay, you watch the highlights.
Well, we'll tell you the full-time result before, just so that you're not wasting too much time.
I think, some of the great memories we've had,
Irish or New Zealander, we love rugby, and that's why a lot of people are in this room, and a lot of people are going along to Soldier Field this afternoon to watch this amazing occasion.
Yes,
And everybody, of course, to their credit, is taking advantage of this particular match. And so the fact that you guys chose to support youth rugby, to support the U.S. Rugby Foundation, and support the future of rugby here in America, I thank you very much for choosing this event of the 35 or 40 other events that are happening. So that's from me to you. I do want to thank our...
Were you? Well done. 10 years behind me, by the way. 10 years behind me.
And Gavin texted me that there. And of course, Gavin, this is a red letter day for you, because not only do you hang out with us, which is positive, you get to have chicken for breakfast that you've looked forward to for many, many years. But Gavin's sold, we'll ship it to you.
Good price.
There you go.
Oh, good.
But thanks for your bid. Right,
800
once,
going once.
twice.
800 going.
Long time. I obviously had quite a good 3 years of my life before he came along. I had an older brother as well. Well, maybe we had an older brother, but I had him longer than Scott's had him. And he wasn't that good. Scott and I became better friends than I was with my older brother. He led the way in terms of rugby. He played for Scottish schoolboys, he played for Scotland under-21s, and then we got sick of him, so we sent him over to Australia, and he's been there ever since. And that's the best place for him. We own it good as well, right? Over to you, Scott. That's the family history. Delighted to be here. I think genuinely, with the Rugby World Cup coming here in 2031, there's no doubt that this game, after the last match here in 2016 between Ireland and the All Blacks, there's a lot of anticipation to this game. I'm actually really, really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a cracker. I think Ireland are a bit undercooked going into this game, and the All Blacks on the back of the Rugby Championship. So if Ireland, genuinely, I believe this, that if Ireland have got a chance, they've got to stay in the game for the first hour and give themselves a chance, because there's going to be green jerseys all over the stadium, and the Irish just travel everywhere, so it's going to be good. Normally it's Scott that does all the talking, so I'll pass you over for the next hour and a half.
Make sure you bring that up. So 65 caps for Scotland, 13 Barbarian caps, captain the Barbarian side against New Zealand in December '93. He also...
That's tremendous. So it's important that John and his team get out there into the schools and actually start to, demonstrate that regular practice is going to bring on great players, but also camps. I think camps are really important to the growth of the game as well. But it's tremendous.
Before the camera phone.
Yeah. And great to see an old mucker of ours, Steve Lewis. There used to play for the West of Scotland Football Club, and the friendship that we've bumped into each other for many, many years has been incredible. And it's great to also see Gary Williams there. We played in the Stockholm Tens. There was a great Tens tournament over there that Gavin had his stag sponsored by a multi-billionaire, and we played with Gary, and that was like actually a crazy weekend. But it's these friendships that you build through the game that we love, and that's what's brought us back into this room today. Those friendships are locked in. And yes, we've got a special match later on, and we'll get into the throes of the game later on and what it was like to play for us, for Scotland against Ireland, but also against New Zealand. But that's what brings us all back. It's called, and I often call them the circles of life, the circles of life that keeps on bringing us back. And I was, another name that was mentioned today was R.T. Flanagan. And I bumped into R.T. When I was commentating on the 7th Circuit. And we were down in Las Vegas, and we were in this piano bar called the Julian Piano. And these two girls were really intrigued about why we were in there, because I was singing for Scotland, all my ABBA songs. RT was singing for USA. But actually, we conned these girls into thinking.
Be inspired by what they see on the field of play, because that's what it's all about. It's always about the next generation and inspiring these kids. So, you know, we talk about
Then when we ended up with someone else, but we'll get to them. There we go. First one. There we go. Before I introduce the brothers that we do have today, I want to remind everybody we are going to be having a live action raffle. We had the raffle items that have been on the website for about 2 months, and we do have bids.
France that season ended up playing against Scotland in the last game of the Five Nations Championship. And the boys from Dungannon, they unfurled this banner across the...
And that's the difference. You know, we have the athletes, we have the coaches, we have the facilities. We need to start here so that we have the instincts. And that's what our Youth Rugby Initiative is really pushing. And I'm very excited to see that in the next 10, 15, 20. Coaching grants, you name it, we will do it. And we'll continue to support rugby here in America in every facet that we can so that we will, again, grow the game. Now, we are working actually on Lens Crafters to be our referee sponsor. And
It's a really good start to kind of warming up. Iron Brew? An Iron Brew, well, we used to do
selected to play for the Lions. And they come together 2 weeks before they then visit South Africa.
Those of you not familiar with the Lost Afternoon Lunch, it's something that was brought to our shores by
No and yes, I guess. Well, it's the mafia. Once you're